FSR heads to the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal for round 4 of the championship. With it being widely known as a challenge loved by many a driver, this circuit features tricky corners with the walls in close proximity. The most tricky of these is the final chicane at turns 13 and 14. High curbs, and of course the famous Wall of Champions just waiting for a mistake to punish. Ominously for the rest of the field, Jurnej Simicic and ACR were untouchable in qualifying. The Slovenian took pole by over 0.2 of a second from the ACR blue cars of Gosby and Panzar. Peter Burlak and Michele D'Alessandro could not catch them, lining up in 4th and 5th, ahead of Janos Brakshock, who impressed to qualify in 6th. After fighting for the win in Baku, Danny Kish was disappointed with 7th, ahead of Costa and Patel, the latter continuing his qualifying struggles, whilst Lukaszek rounded out the top 10. Sander Kalash's poor form continued and he would start 11th, ahead of teammate Ivan Leonov, who makes his WC debut. Kirill Birakov couldn't match his Baku qualifying form, whilst Hutchinson, Schulze and Ryan compete in their first WC races of the season, the latter making his WC debut. After 3 successive race wins, could anyone stand in the way of Jurnej Simicic and a 4th straight victory? Lights out, and Jurnej's launch was good. Panzar set about passing his teammate, but broke early and was under pressure from Burlak. Behind, Lukaszek had a lucky escape. Burlak tried to get ahead of Panzar, but the Swede was having none of it and defended his position. Somehow, the entire top 10 maintained position. Until Kish finally found a way past Brakshock. Contact unsettled the Go-Speed driver, allowing Costa and Patel through also. Simicic led, but struggled to pull out a gap to the cars behind, who were using the DRS to good effect. Just behind the top 10 was Sander Kalash, who was hoping to get off the mark after a miserable start to the season. Pushing too hard on the exit of turn 4 would only rub salt in the wound. End of lap 14, and Patel pitted for his first stop. However, he was jumped by the go speed of Lukaszek on pit exit, who had stopped a lap earlier. The undercut was very powerful, and that showed when D'Alessandro got the jump on Burlak. It didn't bode well for Panzar, who found himself gazumped by the two of them. There were still 3 cars in front who had yet to stop and were on an alternate strategy, as Hutchinson, Fournier and Birakov were trying something different. Both Hutchinson and Fournier dove for the pit on lap 19, but Birakov interestingly stayed out till lap 23, leaving many guessing about his plan of action. After the pit stops, Simicic led Gosby, D'Alessandro, Burlak and Panzar, all of which were on the soft compound tyre. Further behind though, Janos Brakshock's race took a nosedive as he put the power down too quickly at the final chicane whilst trying to pass Araneda, ripping his front wing off and forcing an unscheduled pit stop. Peter Schulze was the next driver to lose control as he accelerated too quickly at turn 2, putting him in a spin and ultimately retirement. Both incidents were individual errors, and yet another would come from Valeriano as he spun on the exit of turn 4 as well. Even Leonov had nowhere to go, putting both out of the race. Hutchinson found himself in the fallout, and he sadly lost his front wing as well. Lap 33, and D'Alessandro made it clear he was 3-stopping as he pitted for another set of softs. He rejoined, crucially, ahead of Birakov, who was going long, but being stuck behind Fournier was not ideal. He'd get the job done on the back straight. Simicic, along with his stablemates Gosby and Panzar, stayed out unusually long and changed to the soft compound tyre. Were they on a 2-stop rather than the standard 3? Unsurprisingly, by staying out long, they fell victim to the undercut. D'Alessandro now had the lead, but second-placed Burlak had more pace and was allowed through by the reigning champion. Berlak knew a race win could be on offer if ACR had got this one wrong. The Croatian tried to stretch out his stint as long as possible, however he couldn't last the distance, thus pitting one final time for Ultrasofts. He rejoined down in 5th behind D'Alessandro, with the ACR cars well down the road. Meanwhile, the battle for the final points-paying positions was really hotting up. After 2 long soft stints, Kirill Birakov made the decision to run 2 sets of Ultra Softs at the end, rather than a single Super Soft stint, and he used the Ultras to good effect by relieving Fournier of 10th. It wasn't long before Wojciech Lukaszek had his mirrors full of the yellow Invictus, but despite having a tyre advantage, the Ghost Speed driver was not going to give up without a fight. With Fournier behind, ready to pounce, Birakov knew he had to make the move. He tried again. Lukaszek defended, but hit the curb too hard, handing Birakov the place and putting him on course for 9th. Or not. Turns out Birakov had used too much engine boost in the battle, which led to a solid drive going up in smoke just a couple of laps from the flag. Lukaszek could not believe his luck. Or could he? Unbelievable! Turns out Lukaszek made the same mistake, suffering a similar fate 1 lap later. All this was background noise for Jurnej Simičić, however, and once again Slovenian won, taking 4 from 4. The 2018 runner-up is looking unstoppable in 2019, and he records the best start to a season for a driver in the World Championship since 2011. But the battle for 4th wasn't done. Berlak used his Ultra Softs and passed Alessandro just before the final chicane. Martin Gosby finished 2nd ahead of his ACR Blue teammate Robin Panzar, making it a very good day at the office for the ACR organisation. Behind Berlak and D'Alessandro came Costa and Patel. Kish originally finished 6th, but received a 10-second time penalty for opening lap contact, dropping him to 8th ahead of Fournier in 9th. However, the biggest celebrations surely were with Jos Araneda and his ground effect team, who benefited from the late retirement and managed to score their first ever points in the Formula SimRacing World Championship. 14 cars saw the checkered flag in a race which was once again packed with attrition. It's been the perfect start to the season for Jurnej Simičić. Bono Hues was the last driver to do what he has accomplished so far in the World Championship season, and the 2011 champion dominated his way to the title. Further down the top 10, Panzar has moved ahead of Patel, whilst Hoyer will rue his absence from this race, considering that ACR's unbeatable pace and tyre management were pretty much second to none. ACR have shown dominance reminiscent of the Precision era, however Hutchinson's bad luck hurt their ability to extend the gap back to Edge. Another disappointing race for Jean Alesi Esports see them drop behind ACR Blue, whilst Ground Effect are finally on the board. Thank you very much for watching this highlights video. Highlights of the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard that took place on the 2nd of June will be available soon, but the full live stream is available to watch on this channel immediately. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Formula Sim Racing content.